Hi. Oh my goodness. I forgot to turn on my light when I was recording this earlier. And now I'm like, oh, this looks amazing. Anyways, hi. It's me, Camila Rose. It's been so long. But I'm back. And I'm coming back with a 75 hard for writers, but I'm going to do the 6 months to change your life author's edition. I'm super into it. I've been watching all the videos. Everybody started theirs in June. I'm starting mine in July because I'm like, well, it's actually 6 months to the end of the year. And let's just get into it. The first one who I saw who did for the author's version was author Jenna Streety, I think is how you say her name. And then she's doing it in collaboration with someone else who's doing it for the art version. And then I watched this Kaylee Faye, she's doing one. And then I'm watching this Elle May Books, who's doing the 75 hard for writers. And then they've all been influenced by Kiara Ivola, maybe, who did that 6 months to change her life, which I just thought was very interesting. So here's the thing. I'm not necessarily trying to do like a whole like revamp my life thing because I've been doing that for the past 2-3 years, but I want to lean into it. I like that. I think it sounds fun. So we're making it fun. We're keeping it light. We're keeping it fun. We're keeping it easy breezy, beautiful, you know, cover girl. So here's the rules. You see, can you see this list? Is it even gonna like show you? Not really. It's long. You see that? It's long. Supposed to do 1K more, write 1K more a day than what you usually write or what you already write. Well, here's the thing. I'm already going to start switching stuff up. My goal is to write 1.5K words because I'm working on editing my book that I've written. So that's already done. It's at like 100 something K words. I need to edit that. I need to get that finished. I want to query it. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I need to get that edited. But I also have another project that I've been working on for a minute, and it's the Venus Intensive, which is an astrological guide, which is the accompaniment to the Mars Intensive that I've already completed, that I have up on my website and available. But I have to get this Venus one done because I really want to, right? So I'm like, if I can do 1K for the Venus Intensive a day, and then I can do at least 500 words editing, shifting, whatever on my actual book, which honestly I probably need to change it. You know what? We're going to change it. We're going to change it already. We're going to change it to 2K because I need to really like run through this book. We should be able to fully go through and redraft or make another draft or get it edited and get it ready to like be going out. And if I could do even more, if I could do like 1.5K in editing or 2K in editing, so I can get this out and start getting it edited, because I'm still going back and forth between like, do I try to query this book and hope that I can get someone interested in it and get it published traditionally, or do I just go with the indie route? I'm unsure, to be honest with you. So that's going to be one of the things we're going to have to figure out, is the publishing route for my book that I've already written but needs to be edited and then needs to be published. So that's number one. But if you were doing this traditionally, it would be doing 1K more than what you already write every day. You need to also build in off days and rest days, things like that. So just know yourself. Complete 3 drafts of a novel. That's the second part. And so I will be working on draft number 2. I will be hopefully be able to get to maybe draft number 3, get it edited, all that fun stuff. So I think I will be fine on that one. I know I made some notes here. Good. Okay, I think I'll be fine on that one. Publish. My other thing is to finish and publish the Venus Intensive by fall equinox. So the goal is there for that. I want to query 2 projects that's what the official rule is, to query 2 projects. I only have 1, because I only have the book. So I don't know if I should try to maybe think up a second project. I do have one that's kind of like floating in the ethers, but it's definitely not organized, definitely not together, not like the book that I actually already have finished. And that's if you were doing trad publishing, then you would do the query. If you're not doing that, then it's just, finishing up your books. So I want to do both, because there's 2 options for the next one. It was either indie, which you would do an author event. So you take your books to an author event, you do signings at that author event, super fun, the tabling, all the fun things. Or if you were doing trad publishing, you would go and you would attend an author event because you're waiting to get your publishing done and the querying and all of that. I want to do a little bit of both. I am very blessed. I live in DFW area, and so there are a lot of options for me to kind of do things out and about in my community. I have already participated in author events, but not as an author. So I have read tarot cards, because I do tarot readings, at the Get Lit Adult Book Fair. Grown-up book fair, because we want to make sure it's not like adult, right? Even though they're totally smut friendly. But I've done several of those. So I've been in the like author space. I've seen the folks with their books, but I'm there reading tarot. I'm not there with any of my own books or text or anything like that, which, like, now that I think about it, I could have always printed out the Mars Intensive and brought that to sell, but I guess I never really thought about it, so I'll make note of that. I'm gonna go as an author. So I think that might be the shift that I really want to make. And I live very close to Denton, Texas, and there is a romance bookstore called The Plot Twist, which is a romance bookstore / bar that you can go, and they sell all the romance books. They sell local, they sell all of the national releases, everything like that, international releases. It's amazing. The owners are super amazing. I've also done a tarot event there, but I've never gone to any of their author events. So I'm blessed to be in a space where there's a lot of opportunities, so I can go and do things. A third thing that I'm adding to this is I was in Lancaster, because I wander around DFW. I was in Lancaster, Texas the other day, and I stopped at the Kyoto Brew that has opened there. It's super cute coffee shop if you're looking for a place to work or to write. And one of the individuals there came up to me and was like, "Are you a writer?" And I was like, yeah, like imposter syndrome, but I was like, yeah, I write. And she told me that they have a writer circle on the 2nd Saturday of every month. Now, I read tarot at Bewitched Denton every Saturday, and I'm already taking off a Saturday in July for my family's coming down to visit for the 4th of July. So I'm not going to be able to go in July, but I will go in August. So I'm setting aside the 2nd Saturday in August in order to be able to go to the writer circle in Lancaster and join them there, because I think it's just going to be a super good time, and it will help me accomplish one of the other goals that we'll get to in the challenge. So I have a lot of options there. I'm super excited about that. I'm going to get really creative with it, and I think it'll help me with some additional goals that I want to work towards on the more professional business side of things. So let's get to the next one. Post 3 pieces of content a day, any platform. This will honestly be pretty easy. One, because I'm not focusing only on writing, even though I might start building up my writer profile a little bit more, because I have a writer's Instagram that's already set aside, that I've already got the name and everything like that, but I don't really use it. I think, though, I'm going to incorporate this into my business platform and utilize it there. And in that case, I have plenty of content I need to be posting anyway. I need to post about my tarot and my yoga and my sound baths and the Mars Intensive and what other things do I need to write about? Virtual, being able to book services with me virtually, astrology, and now I'm just going to add in more of the writing, more of the journaling, more of the inner work aspect, which also ties in with the work that I do. And I think it'll also build in very nicely with some of my professional goals. Luckily, the book that I've written, the fiction book that I've written, ties in with a lot of the things I talk about for the professional side of things. So I think I can tie those both together, but I will test it out. I will see. And if I need to go and separate them and create a separate author profile where I just talk about books, or actually just use my author profile where I just talk about books, I will do that. So we'll see how that goes. If I do decide to do that, I believe it's Mila Rose Writes or Writing, something like that. Let me go see. I've literally, I don't think ever used that profile. I don't think I have anything posted. It's Mila Rose Writes, yes. So I have a profile all set aside, all ready to go. So we'll see if I decide to use it. Okay, then they have pick off days, which is great because I already have off days scheduled into my life schedule. So I take Mondays and Fridays off. I say that, but a lot of times on Fridays I will have something going on, like a sound bath or an event, but I try to make sure that I don't have anything else scheduled. I have some time to myself. Tuesdays have kind of sort of started to turn into an off day, but they're off/work day. So I take the mornings off usually and work in the afternoons, or work through the middle of the day and then just start really late and really early, because I'm very into another aspect of this challenge that I get into that I'll talk about in a second. So I'm not worried about the off days. I just need to have those built into my calendar, and I'm not really worried about that at all. So I've already got those in place. Make new author friends. So I talked about joining the writing circle, and that's really why I want to do it, so that I can go make author friends. I have friends who are authors. I don't necessarily have author friends. So I need to make a switch there, and I'm going to go do some writing events. I'm going to go do writing circles, and that should help me make author friends. And then there you go, right? Okay. Then you're going to do, now we're getting into some more of the combination of that 75 hard / the 6 months to change your life holistic side of things. We're getting into the health stuff. So 10K, the official one is 5K steps a day. I'm doing 10 because I basically already do 10. I started March 31st because I have it on my phone calendar. March 31st through April, I started training to walk a half marathon because I needed a personal health challenge. I needed something to get me moving and going and to shift my energy. And so I did that. My plan was to, by the end of the month in April 28th, I walked my half marathon. So what I do is on Mondays, sometimes on Tuesdays if Mondays doesn't work, I go for a very long walk on some walking trail around DFW. And so I just get up super early and I just walk and I just keep walking. And I split it up to, when I was training to build up for the half marathon, I did 6, then 1 week with 6 miles, then I did 2 8s, 2 10s. And then I think I just bumped it up and went ahead and did the 13.2 miles for the half marathon. And then after that, I just kept it up. But I really have been just switching between 6 miles and 8 miles, 6 miles and 8 miles, to not burn myself out. I don't think I should be doing a half marathon every other month or anything like that. So that's kind of where I keep it. When I'm really wanting to maybe challenge myself, or maybe I'm feeling super stressful, I'll go to White Rock Lake and I'll do the 9.5 miles there. So just do the full loop. But I don't do that as often. So I'm really kind of just have been alternating between 6 miles and 8 miles on Mondays. And I plan on just keeping that up. And then I would say about the middle of May, I started doing 4 miles a day. And when I do 4 miles a day, that roughly will equal to me hitting 10K steps a day total. So my goal is going to be 10K just because I'm already doing that, basically. A lot of these things that are in this Changing Your Life in 6 Months, I already have incorporated into my schedule, and it's a part of my routine. So it's just adding some of the missing pieces that are there, like the writing the what is now going to probably end up being 2.5K a day, making sure I'm getting the editing done on my novel that I finished, and then making sure that I get the Venus Intensive done. And so those are really the spaces, and like doing more writing stuff, doing more author stuff, that's where I really need to make changes. Then we have 5 bottles of water a day. I think this might have been one of her personal goals, but I do like the idea of drinking more water. And so I wrote down drink 2 full Stanleys. I have the large ones, so that's 40 ounces. It'll be 80 ounces total, which is roughly like 10 cups of water a day. And I think that'll be good for me. I usually drink about 1, so I upped it to 2 because I realized I drink 1 a day. And so I'm like, oh, okay, that's not going to really work. There's not a challenge if I already do it. So I'm like, all right, let's try to go for 2. For sure, we'll get in the 1. And then we had a healthy routine and diet. So let's talk about that, because I've already told you a lot of the changes that I've already made, but I have additional things that I want to add to there. And so I have take my 10K steps a day. I do my long walks 1 day out of the week. I already have added we have this really cool place called Augment I think it's Augment Wellness, but I know it's Augment for sure, over in Frisco. And they have the compression, they have the red light sauna, they have the infrared sauna, they do the cold plunges, and you could do like a couple of other different additional things. And they have the wet sauna. Because my focus has really been on my internal health and doing a lot of somatic practices, it's also one of my other professional goals is to incorporate more of specifically addressing traumatic experiences and the energy of trauma that is held within the body using those somatic practices. I'm a yoga instructor. Like I said, I do sound healings. I do meditation. I'm a certified mindfulness coach. So I have a lot of the background already in somatic practices, but I don't frame them in that way of presenting them as addressing issues related to trauma. And so I'm going through some trainings and things like that in order to be able to better utilize that and have the knowledge and wisdom to be able to share, to be able to create more offerings. But that's a little bit more on the professional side, but it builds into my personal side. Because I've done so much of this inner work, because I've spent a lot of time focusing on this, it has framed and changed a lot of my behaviors. I would say not in the last 6 months, but since February specifically, because I spent February kind of really being in my own little space, isolating a little bit so I could revamp and recharge. And so now I've brought a lot of those things back, and they've just kind of been incorporated into my overall lifestyle. So I have my long walks, I have my sauna cold plunge, and then I want to add in, here's the only thing I'm really changing. So the challenge part of this for me is going to be the weightlifting. I really want to commit to getting into weight training. I'm not necessarily trying to go to the gym, but I want to do some movements with the weights that I have at the house. That is our challenge. That's what we're adding in, is the weight training. I want to build up the muscles, but I also want to use that as a form of my somatic therapy and to engage with this idea of like strength, building up empowerment, building up the having really good boundaries, but also being able to welcome in, invite in energy. So it's a lot of the movements that I'd like to do and the muscles I'd like to build are to further support my somatic healing or the body healing. All right, so that part we have together. Then we have I'm going to make a whole separate video on this, but you're supposed to participate in the 24-hour novel challenge, and that's happening literally this month. It's supposed to be June 21st through the 23rd. So I'm needing to like kind of wrap this up. So here's my thoughts, right? It's supposed to be June 21st through the 23rd. So there's not a lot of rules about it though. It's pretty simple. It's just basically you're trying to write for 24 hours collectively over a span of 3 days. You split it up as you see fit. Okay. I was running out of time. All right. The 24-hour novel challenge was to make a shorter version, time-wise, of the NaNoWriMo. But now that we don't really do NaNoWriMo anymore, it's a very nice alternative, I think. And so you're looking to try to write 50K words in those 3 days, equaling a total time spent writing of 24 hours. So I'm going to edit that a little bit because that's just what I do. I'm going to actually start on Friday instead of starting on Saturday the 21st. So my plan is, and I'll make a whole video about this, but my plan is to do some personal stuff that day because I am off and I don't have anything I really have to do, and then spend some hours doing the writing, doing the editing. And then Saturday, which is a much busier day for me, I'm going to try to just sneak in as much of that time as I can. Sunday, I'm going to do the same, but I also have rituals, so I have a lot going on Sunday. And then Monday, which is my off day, I just have to do my long walk, and then I can spend as much of the day writing as I like. So I'm actually starting that on Friday. It's coming up quickly. Here's a fun one. No social media. I also have a sleep timer already set on my phone to turn the color off, but I don't necessarily not engage with social media. So I'm really excited to do no social media before 9 a.m. or after 9 p.m. It's also encouraging me to do another challenge or another task to add in there, which is to pre-schedule my social media post, which will help me also with my posting 3 times a day. Then they have 30 minutes of reading a day. Love this. I read off and on. Sometimes I'll read a lot. Sometimes I won't read a lot. I'm making a caveat for this for myself specifically is to read 30 minutes of fiction a day. Then we have the next one, which is have a sleep/nighttime routine. This couples with the getting off social media as well as like my own scheduling, because I live in Texas, which if you couldn't tell, I talked about a lot of like DFW, Dallas, Lancaster, Denton, all that fun stuff. And it's getting hot because it is summertime. And so I get up super freaking early. It's also, we're heading towards summer solstice. The sun is up by like 6:15. So, you can get up early because the sun's up. I get up very early in order to go do my walks. I try to do my 4 miles first thing in the morning and then do my journaling, which I need to add on here somewhere. Do my journaling and then like do my stuff for the day. So I have to go to bed early, and I really struggle with that. And so I really have to reset that. It's also not good for my stress levels. It also like doesn't support my being able to get all my stuff done that I want to get done during the day. So going to bed on time is so vital and so important for me, and I struggle with it. So I'm excited about that portion of the challenge. I will talk more about like nighttime routine and everything like that on another video. And then the last one that's a part of this challenge is one new hobby, and do not monetize that hobby. Again, I don't know if I've just been like tuned in to the stuff that's going on in this challenge or what, but I technically feel like I already have my new hobby. And my new hobby, I have 2 actually. I bought a archery set, and so I've been practicing archery, but I also have been rollerblading. I've been skating, and I've really enjoyed that. I'm debating on seeing about picking up perhaps pole dancing, or there's someone who does belly dancing classes. That could also shift into my hobby. but I'm not sold on that yet. I know for sure, though, I will be doing the skating and the archery. So I'm just going to keep up doing at least one of those a day, and that's going to be my goal for that. So that's the full 6 months to change my life. Like, that's the rundown of it. I do have some additional personal things, professional, honestly, that I would like to, I think, really get into adding in there, like creating a new Somatic offering. And another thing is that you're supposed to post your progress daily. That was a part of the 75K, but I like the idea of posting your progress daily and adding that into the 6 months to 6 months to change my life. I believe, though, that I would just make that something that I would do as a stories and not an actual post. And here's another thing that I'm excited about because of this. I've completed the Artist Way twice. I did it the summer of 2023 and the summer of 2024. I will not be doing it summer of 2025. So this is kind of my way to fill in that gap for the time that I would have spent doing the Artist Way. This is my new kind of thing to do, and I'm excited about that. I enjoy doing these challenges over the summer. I find that it keeps me productive. It's something to do when the weather is really hot outside and it's like feeling overwhelming. And it's something that further supports what I found during my Artist Way. I love doing the Artist Way. That was where I initially even realized, oh my gosh, I want to write. Like, I want to write a book. I also am adding in a feature about journaling every day, because journaling is such a vital aspect of maintaining my own mental health and my well-being and emotional well-being. Journaling is a powerful tool in order to help us better align with ourselves, but also to actually be able to see what it is that we do, what we think, what we feel, and to be able to catalog that and to be able to go back and refer back to it as we're progressing through things. So journaling will be an active part of my 6 months to change your life, because I really want to have that space to be able to see the words and see the actions and see the feelings down on the page and be able to flip back through them in real time. So there's the author side of things, but there's other aspects that I want to add in there. So we have the author side, we have the health side. I've mentioned a couple of professional things, but I'm going to make a whole separate video for that. And then it's my own personal spiritual practices that I do. So just maintaining those things, building not per se a ritual, not per se a habit, but my lifestyle. Like, this is the life that I live. And that's the thing that I'm most excited about, because I've seen a lot of those changes, and a lot of those changes I've already put into place. And I want to continue to build and grow in those spaces and not find myself sliding back or becoming stagnant, because that is really truly one of the biggest things I'm working on, is allowing myself to let go and move forward. And so I've been pulling back in some things in order to create space for new stuff to come in, for new dreams, for new activities, for new offerings to come in. And that's really where I feel like I am right now, is while I'm no longer in the cocoon of dissolving, I'm in the space of welcoming in and creating. And that's what I feel like this summer really is this that time to be in that space of creation and welcoming. Oh, join me for my 6 months to change my life. Where are we changing it to? I don't know. I'm not necessarily trying to be an author full time. It's just one of the things on my wall of stuff that I want to do. Thanks for watching. Are you going to do the 6 months to change your life? What is the area that you're focusing on? Is it being an author? Is it being a writer? Is it having your own business? Are you on a personal journey? Is it having a better relationship with a loved one? What is your 6 months to change your life? Is it a little bit of everything? I'm excited. So I'll see you later. I'll have the 24-hour writing challenge, a quick video about more detail about what I'm going to do with that. And then we'll do a vlog while I'm doing it, and we'll just post and go. What's my posting schedule? Don't know. I'll make a video about it. We'll get into it when we get into it. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you later. Bye.